start the work session here. So I announce that the meeting will be recorded. First item on the agenda is public comment. And we can move on. There's nothing under new items. Nothing under old items. Any conversation on policies and procedures?
We've got, what, half a dozen lined up?
Okay, very good. Projects.
So, actually, maybe today we should put together, I'll talk to Adam about putting a press release together for the Human Services Consulting
Okay.
project, which is moved forward. We've selected HMA, which is a pretty robust human services consulting firm. I'm not sure where they're headquartered because we talked to so many, but they've worked on big projects for Dauphin County and also like Chesapeake Bay and a lot of, they do a variety of work. They've committed to working with us not just on the strategic planning initiative, but also other planning projects that Human Services is going to initiate. And they're capable of being a very robust agency. So, as a, for instance, Human Services has secured a secondary grant for recruitment and retention of employees in the human services field. And we'll probably incorporate something, I would assume that we can incorporate something into the press release about that, because I would want to share that.
He was putting together
They put in for it, I'm pretty sure they got it, but I suppose I should probably double check with them about that, but my point is, I'm pretty sure they got it, but those types of projects would be parallel to the strategic planning project, because that has a lot of different things like that they want to do. So we're having a kickoff meeting tomorrow with like the Human Services Administration, myself, I believe Norm Weimer is going to be on it. If anybody else wants to be on the call, let me know, because it's just we're just doing a virtual discussion about what they're going to do initially and that kind of stuff. And then from there, they'll do the plan for, the constituency meetings, all of the data gathering kind of initiatives over the next month, with the idea of, again, having this plan together by, probably by October of this year, I would think.
good.
Like
It's a good timeline.
yeah, so.
All right. And of course, we had our reassessment kickoff meeting. We talked a little bit about doing some marketing. So I don't know how we want to approach that.
So I guess after we get done with this meeting, have a conversation with Pam and a couple other people just about like putting the pieces together and then circulating them through her, like on the website, the Facebook page. I know the vision group was kind of weird. I don't want to say weird. They were a little hesitant on the social media front, but I think there's ways to kind of be able to put the information out without worrying about there being, like a big debate.
And just something informational for people to know and understand that vision is out there. There was a woman in front of my house last week, and she had on the side of the vehicle, and just kind of help with the public knowledge that this is the firm that we're using to actually perform the reassessment evaluation. Just kind of keep that out there, so people know and are familiar with that. I know there are those who are very focused and know all about it, and then there are those who, don't always look at many media outlets. However we can reach people.
There's a link put on the Facebook page and
Saw that.
the website
Yeah.
that they can go to that keeps them up to date with the project also.
Cool.
I think to your point, Trish, the conversation was about developing some pieces that are condensed, that give like the very basic bullet points of what to expect.
Yeah.
Because some of this stuff is so complicated, like even for the average person, let alone an elected official who's might be engaged, it's confusing.
Yeah.
And I about you guys, but I'm starting to get all of the conversations from people who maybe don't follow the newspaper,
Right.
don't follow local government, who had somebody show up, and they're like,
Exactly.
oh, what's happening? Like, you know?
Yes,
So this would be
Right.
a good time to kind of like circulate that in as many
right.
ways as we can.
I think that's a good idea. So, yeah.
The top of the list, the first bullet point is gonna be the county gets no additional revenue from the reassessment. That's gonna be the first bullet.
What it's worth, I was talking with Brian yesterday, and the manager for Vision, this was not yesterday, Friday, and the manager for Vision, the project was here, and she's reported they have almost 1,000 properties reviewed in the city, and that it's going really well, and that they think it's because they have a good crew, and so.
They've got a lot of people, you see them around because they wear the,
Yellow vests.
like the fluorescent vest or whatever.
We have little magnets on the side of their car that says Vision.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was talking with a citizen Thursday, and I feel bad that they had a question about reassessment, and I clarified for them, I can't remember what it was, and I can ask around and figure out what that question was, but I know people have questions, so your idea to continue outreach is good.
Yeah.
Well, and I think with the people showing up too, it started a conversation even amongst the constituents.
Yes.
That's been helpful
It
because, like, even this past weekend, there were 3 folks that I was talking to who all had similar houses in the city, and 2 of them had very average tax payments, and the third was way high for the property. And they're like, well, I've been thinking about appealing, and I'm like, you definitely need to appeal because you've obviously been overtaxed. Well, maybe I'll just wait for the reassessment. I'm like, well, the values aren't gonna take for a couple of years. You actually would benefit from an appeal because you would get your number reduced. But they were all amazed at how, you know, that third person could have a value that was out of whack with the other 2 and have virtually the same property. And I'm like, that's why we're doing it. You know, it's not about getting more money, it's about equity, like you know. And unless you do some kind of construction on your property or something, we can't go in and spot assess your property and fix it, like, you know.
Yep. And then we had a kickoff call on broadband last week with CTC. So, you know, our initial goal was to just do kind of an elongated process where they evaluated the whole county and you know, made decisions about what that plan would look like, that infrastructure for broadband countywide. But this COVID money from the Commonwealth came out, and you can apply between May 10th and sometime in July. And so Bill and I actually had reached out to a number of third-party providers and asked them if they were interested in providing a proposal to the county. There's a 25% match that would be required, and the Commonwealth would pay 75%. And it sounds like there is some level of interest with those third-party providers, so I'm not sure what we would have to commit to, if anything. But I just wanted to let you know that's out there. Bill has worked with them. If you remember, when we first got the first COVID money, there were 6 shovel-ready projects that were engineered. And so we reached out to those 2 entities that proposed them, and we didn't even have enough COVID money to do our share of what they were requesting. So now there might be an opportunity for them to change a little bit of the scope and the size of the project, and maybe they may even choose to apply on their own with the county, which would be thrilled with, but.
Well, technically, my recommendation would be is if there was gonna be like a match, or even if we were gonna facilitate grant funding or something, CTC should be able to work with us to put together like what the bidding process would be for the individuals to come in and put a proposal for it. Because if there's any public money involved, it's gonna have to be some transparent process like that. And they do that.
Yes.
Like, so that
Right.
they'd be able to work with.
Well, we shared that with them, so we're gonna kind of move in that direction, see what the level of interest is there, and then go from there. I also had a call with a company, I think it's called All Points Broadband, who actually won a competitive bidding process for Crawford County. And they're a private company, that's done a lot of work in Virginia. And they are working on infrastructure for Crawford County to put something together, and they would be the internet service provider, the ISP for Crawford County. They were interested in looking to see if Warren County would also be interested in, and we asked them to, let us know what their thoughts were on a proposal, so that's kind of sitting out there as well. So that's my broadband project update. It's a lot more involved than I expected.
So I thought it would be a cakewalk. Honestly.
I don't know how I got appointed to the task force initially.
You're welcome.
It's turned into something much larger than I expected. Any other projects? No. Okay, so next thing on the agenda is reviewing the upcoming commissioner meeting and public hearing. So we move to that agenda, of course, the consent agenda as usual. And then a number of items on old business. So county match funds to the transit authority. Looks like we have a recommendation for the appointment to the transit authority board.
So the transit thing, we should just automatically table that again.
Okay.
Right, because you're not gonna be there, but
Oh, I'm
I was
sorry.
gonna ask that, yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it again.
sorry. We'll table that, yeah. I gotta get my leadership training in.
I think that we should check with them, just because it'll have to be then moved to the end of June meeting, right?
June 28th.
Yeah, we should check with the transit authority as to like when they need to provide notice to the state, because this is for their budget year next year, and it starts in July 1st, and I don't know, I don't know what their reporting requirements. Pam, could you reach out to Wendy and talk to her?
And maybe find that out, because I'm assuming that the lunch hour for this training that I'm going to will be the same time as the commissioner meeting, so I might be able to call in for that. So if it's needed, if we need to do it by this meeting, I'll ask about that, or I can just maybe
What
step
about
out
the
of the training.
appointment?
Same thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll double check, I'll call them today, just kind of see what the plans are. I'm assuming we'll have a lunch hour, and I would guess it would be noon,
Yes.
so,
I remember working 2 hours.
really? Okay. You're getting me more excited about this training.
It's very elite, so.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I did it 3 years ago, so they may have changed the program.
Yeah, maybe. So you will follow up with her, and then let me know, and I'll follow up with the CCAP consultant to see if I can step out to, if this is necessary.
Even if it's for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
even if we just called you.
Yeah, that would be fine. Okay. All right, approve the radio tower lease agreement. I'm guessing
How
that's
is it?
just
It's been a long time coming.
yeah. And then approve the notice procedure for Klingen and Smith Enterprises. Klingen and Smith Enterprises.
Yes, I think you made the award
We
already,
did.
and so this is the notice to
To
proceed.
proceed,
Yes, correct.
and the dates.
Right. Yep. And that's it. Anything else business wise to add to the agenda for Wednesday? Okay. Very good. General discussion, department committee updates.
So I just wanted to stop in and ask you about tax claim real quick. I know I've already emailed everyone about the new online portal where people can log on, not really log on, but get on the website. They can do a search, find parcels, and then find out if there's any living taxes on it, which has never been done in Warren County, so it's a huge step
That's
forward. It's
awesome.
Before, you just go onto the website, click make a payment, and then you didn't have any info. You had to type in your parcel number, which they would always get wrong, or they wouldn't know the correct amount, so they get the amount wrong, or they would try to pay us, but they were trying to pay the city. But now they can actually search, and they click on their name to make that payment. Now, to add on to that, we're currently working with all the tax collectors in Warren County so they can have the ability to take credit cards or e-checks, which is going to be huge for.
That's awesome.
So the hopes is make it easier for the taxpayers, so a lot of people don't like mailing in checks. They're not local, so you can't stop in and pay cash. This way they can just log on, make a payment with a credit card, which of course will be a fee, and that's just assumed, so it's like 2.5%, I believe. But e-checks are 95 cents. So half double the cost of a stamp, you go in there, make a payment, and be done with it.
That's
So
awesome.
So we're currently working with all the tax collectors, because each tax collector has to fill out their bank forms and sign the agreement with the credit card company, the payment processing company. And,
Now, is this portal a portal for just Warren County?
yes,
Okay.
just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was looking on a different portal in Lawrence County, and you can actually search other counties.
They might have like
Information.
multiple partners that work,
Okay,
together, and they're all in the
Right.
same system maybe.
Okay.
But,
interesting.
yeah. So yeah, just let the township they're paying for and then do a search and find their taxes. And how it works is the person will go online, make their payment, and then automatically process with tax collector software that they have. It's all web-based, so they don't have to print out their, payment, sit there, process it. It's all pretty much hands-on.
Okay,
We should
that's cool.
process.
We should do a news release on that too.
Oh my God, Mr. Cochran.
Well, I know.
He wants to
Not
write it down.
not any offense to him, but
Yeah.
there's other media outlets.
Yeah,
that
I
too, that would be.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's a big step forward for the county as a whole. I'm hoping that it helps those taxpayers, but also less returns to me as well. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people wait, like, oh, I like just paying with you because I can pay with e-check or a credit card and be done with it.
I
If you're
see.
paying $4,500, come believe it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
okay.
Did you get to give a report on the judicial sale?
I did not, I didn't mean to do that. I'll have to grab that, just spread it out and send that out. I don't know all the stuff on top of my head, so.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, all of that stuff will help reduce foot traffic.
Yes, and then you also just, decrease those phone calls. They'll call me and then get the amounts and then go onto the website.
Well, I mean,
And then you're trying to tell them the parcel number and it's WN, it's like.
Do you need to have the parcel number?
What's that?
Do you need to have the parcel number?
Just got a last name or parcel number or
Okay.
phone number, and that's
Okay,
it. So,
good.
you should check it out, it's really simple, it's
Yeah.
really neat setup, I was impressed with it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you just type your name in and your stuff comes up and it's like, it's as much of a no-brainer as you can get.
And that's with the software company that we use?
Yeah, GSS.
GSS.
And I think if you can get the tax collectors all on that system, or most of them,
Hopefully, yeah, because it's all going to be web-based going
Yeah.
forward. So hopefully,
because that's something that we've tried to figure out or had calls on since I've been here.
yeah.
so this GSS, they're the ones that provide our internal software too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, oh, that's great.
Yeah, we every year, I don't know about anybody else, but I get at least a few calls from people, why don't you have credit card things, why don't you do that,
Yeah, it's
I'm
these
not
the only
paying your
place.
taxes on your credit card.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, if you get 3%, you get 3% back, but you're paying 2.5%, it's
Yeah.
kind of beneficial, I mean, so,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's all. That's it.
Okay, discussion? Is there need for an executive session? No. All right, then I think we can be adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
So you want me to actually call Wendy first before we take the agenda?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
She's putting it back, yeah.
Because if we can move it to the 28th, that's fine. If we can't, I'll just kind of try and find a way to walk away